Hey everybody, welcome back to Dad Talk. Today we are live in Washington, D.C. at CPAC 2020, and we have Miss Tina Mulally at the podcast, South Dakota State Representative. How are you doing?
Well, I'm blessed. I'll tell you what, I'm blessed to be here.
Yes, ma'am, and I heard that you are affiliated with Tom Pitchke.
Oh yeah, I got to warn Tom now. I'm the new rep there, Tom. You're out of here, bud.
Awesome. Well, Tina, I am so glad that you're here because we got an issue that we are asking people to start talking out about a little bit more. Because out of all the thousands that were here at CPAC, the one issue that we haven't heard much about is fatherlessness and single-parent homes, and the fight that we're having inside of family court right now. We are at a 50% divorce rate.
Yes.
And then that turns into mudslinging inside of the courts. And we're asking, like, why are we not making some type of equal share parenting? If two parents can come together to parent a child, to make a child, they should be able to come together to parent the child.
Absolutely.
So why are we making it such a fight inside of family court?
Because many years ago, it was always the woman that was the one that was disenfranchised.
Right.
So when they divorced, and so she was always the one that was given the rights of the children. And anymore, they're not thinking about how much a father is needed in the relationship. If you can't get along with your spouse and you want a divorce, that's fine. But you got together to make those children. You need to stay together to raise those children. And we really need to change the laws in this country. And we're doing that in South Dakota right now.
Yes, ma'am, and please continue to get that message out. How can we as a community encourage our representatives to get out there and do something about this? Because to me, this is one of the greatest issues that we are facing in this country right now, and it's just the lost discussion.
That's one of our biggest social issues, is that we have fatherless homes. And we're now realizing that a two-parent family is the best way to raise children. And we really need to get our fathers back into that relationship, and personally, I think even if you can't get along with anybody else, if you have God in your life, you can get along with anybody.
Right.
And you can raise your children, and you can raise them right.
Right. And unfortunately, we've got this thing that's known as parental alienation, where one parent alienates another child to not want the relationship with that other parent. And to me, that's child abuse.
Well, I have that in my family. I have lost my son to my ex-husband, not for anything that I had done. I was very young. I was only 16 years old when I had birthed him and gave him over to my ex-husband. And I didn't get to see him until he was 8 years old, and I got a 2-week visit. And then when he was 16, I got to see him again for 2 weeks. And he has not spoken to me since he was 16 years old. I have 3 grandchildren. I've never met his wife. And it is mainly because my ex-husband spoke horribly about me and my way of life, and said that I was an evil woman. And he thought that was true without taking the time to learn what I was about. So it does go both ways. It's not just of fatherless.
Oh, yes.
It does go both ways, because my daughter also was going to be adopted by this man, and so he asked her father to give up parental rights.
Right.
And once he did, he forgot to adopt her.
Right.
So she was a fatherless child all the way around. So.
Oh, wow. And what is that process of healing? Are you over this situation?
Oh, yes, I'm completely over it. My daughter and I have a great relationship. I someday will meet my son.
Right.
I will meet my grandchildren and my daughter-in-law. Someday, it may not be on this earth, but at least one day I will. And I pray for them every day.
Absolutely.
So I greatly appreciate what you're doing, and we will do we've got some strong advocates there in South Dakota with Tom at the head, and we're going for it. We really truly believe, because we have reservations in our state, and that is a very strong area where the father is no longer involved in the family life, and we really need to get that back.
Well, I can tell you, as a father that hasn't seen his daughters 3 years old in a year and a half, it's just because I'm dad. There's all these stereotypes against us fathers out there that call us the deadbeats, that don't want anything to do with our children. I've even faced that myself, and here I am doing all this work at this podcast, been organizing in the community. We're all the way up in Washington, D.C., and far from a deadbeat. And we need our voice heard, because too many of us are being
where we
painted as
need to
a deadbeat.
educate them? We need to educate the court systems.
We do.
Because the court systems is where we're lacking, where they truly believe that deadbeat fathers are all there is out there, and it's not.
Right.
We need to educate the judicial system, and the only way we can do that is by changing the statutes, changing the laws, and getting them to realize that you need to take each individual case.
I do believe so. Tina, I'm not going to take up much of your time. We've got to get to the Ronald Reagan dinner. All right, well, guys, thank you so much, Tina. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for being here.
Please get that message out, and we believe in you. Guys, we'll see you next time.
See you, Tom.